What is up, everybody? Welcome to The Good, the Bad, the Bearded, episode number 13. Oh, did we lose Brains? Where's Brains at?
I'm right here.
Try playing with the
Oh,
dog.
there you are.
I was trying to send people the link to come watch us.
Oh, okay, cool. Certainly appreciate that. So, welcome to episode 13. We're just going to go ahead and jump right on into this because my co-host Johnny is not with us tonight. He had some family he had some family things he needed to take care of, but we're going to go ahead and get on into this. We've got my boy Barefoot Brains.
Yeah,
Caveman. Y'all are just coming off of a round the country trip.
Yes. 6 days, 8 states, 3,055 miles.
Wow.
Talk about a sore ass.
Yeah, I can imagine. Y'all drove that entire way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
drove that whole thing.
Brains was pretty much my chauffeur.
Oh, yeah?
I tried.
Yeah.
I'll make sure that happens in Wichita.
Yeah. I
What,
love
he
driving.
makes one hell of a designated driver.
Hey, Clinking Beard's on here.
Blake's here. Summer said she's out.
Aw, come on, Summer. You know you like Caveman. She said since Johnny's not here, she's gone. She don't like us no more.
Right.
Oh, come on, Summer. What the hell?
All three of us make one better Johnny. I'm just saying.
Didn't you happen to see the introductory pictures of me and Barefoot? I mean, come on, that was just sexier than shit.
Well, just look at me. I mean, that's how it is.
Exactly.
I've looked at you for the last 14 days.
And you love it.
Maybe.
You miss me already. You miss me already.
So what brought on the idea for you guys to do this round country tour?
Oh, man.
Very sneaky anniversary present from my wife, I guess.
Oh,
yeah? Yeah, she always wanted to do the Stanley, so for what, Brains, like the last 8 months we started planning this?
Yeah, about 6-8 months. 6-8 months we've been planning and figuring, and it's actually all started out with just a road trip that we wanted to go on because there wasn't much in the way of competitions going on, but we wanted to go hang out. And then it was their anniversary coming up, so we were like, let's do something for that. And yes, Marie wanted to go to the Stanley and always wanted to go there, so me and Mike did a lot of trickery and tomfoolery to get that to happen.
Yeah, I mean, everything from making up all kinds of stories of how we were going to end up in a different state for something stupid, like petting fluffy cows and shit, to no, we can't go to Colorado, to yes, we can go, but we can't go where the Stanley's at because it's too far out of the way. I mean,
yeah,
very good times. I mean, up in Wyoming, the deer would just shut the highways down.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was a good trip. Seeing all kinds of stuff. We made up lies on the fly just so that Marie wouldn't know where we were going. She was grilling me on.
We turned tricks.
Yeah, that's how we had gas money. Made Mike get out on the corners and work for us.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Pretty much in Montana, when we stopped at the gas station, it was like $3.50 a gallon. I was really wanting to turn tricks there. I didn't want to pay for it.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
That's why I'm not driving to Wichita. Gas has just gotten so much.
It's cheap here.
Gotten so expensive.
It's cheaper here than it is anywhere that we were on our trip, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. What did we drive the first night? I worked 8 hours, and then we drove like 12 hours straight?
We drove. Let's see. We left your house about 4:00. An hour south of St. Louis is where we left from, And we drove, between you and I, we drove all the way up to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And we stayed there the first night, and we got in at like 2 a.m. And it was just a crazy time. Got in, and then
all I know is I woke up in the backseat of the car drooling.
Yeah, he sure was snoring himself awake. Hey, what are you doing back there, Mike? You're snoring. You're keeping me awake. Thought we were hitting the rumble strips going down the highway.
I've never heard myself snore while I'm sleeping, just for the record.
Yeah, no, never.
Never.
Yeah, never.
Lauren says I snore. I don't believe it.
Oh, yeah.
Then we, let's see, we got up that next morning. It was Mike and Marie's anniversary. That was Thursday morning. And we went and saw the falls in Sioux Falls, the waterfalls there. That was pretty cool. Took some cool pictures and stuff, and got to hang out there for a little bit. And then we took the long, flat, boring drive across South Dakota.
Very boring.
There wasn't a lot to see. I think we saw some buffalo, some cows. And then we made it to
I've never been so excited to see road construction.
Yeah. We made it to Rapid City, South Dakota, and had an amazing steak dinner for their anniversary.
Very good.
We thought we were gonna get kicked out of the place because we didn't feel we were fancy enough for it.
They had cloth napkins, by God.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
They're fancy out there.
They had fireplaces and deer and stuff hanging on the walls. It was nuts. No.
But when the lady found out what we did for charity and through the company, she was ecstatic. She ended up getting stickers from us, and she got a business card for her cook that had a beard down, as she put it, down to his crotch. So yeah, she couldn't believe the two crazy guys and the semi sane woman that came in, looked like they couldn't afford a glass of water, was able to do all that we do for charity and everything. So what up, Johnny?
Also, apparently Johnny's watching. We can't talk shit about him anymore.
Oh, okay. I guess. Well, he's going to be part of our story here in a little bit.
It was just getting
Yeah, Mike and Marie got steaks at the steak place, and I got to be different. I got elk ravioli. Let me tell you, it was some of the best food. Oh my goodness. My mouth is drooling as I'm thinking about this right now. How good it is.
Very good elk ravioli.
Yeah.
He made sure that we got to all taste some of the elk ravioli.
I'm kind enough to share my food with others,
There you go.
I'll give you a taste of it, just so you're jealous of how good my food is. Then we stopped there, and we ended up staying in a hotel right next to the steakhouse. And
hold on, real quick. We're getting a special guest beyond the special guest that we've already got. One second.
Sure.
Oh, not that guy. Oh, Mrs. Kingsbury. Yeah.
She's getting me set up here. I'm having technical difficulties.
Well, we'd rather see her than you any day.
Hi, Tish.
Hey, Tisha.
Just going to bring a whole crew on.
There we go.
Yeah.
Thanks for making Flink look good, Tish.
Anytime. It's not that difficult, really.
You don't got to lie to us. He's pretty ugly.
Now I'm leaving before anyone sees me without my makeup.
Oh, whatever.
What's up?
Oh, you're just fine, Tish.
We're hanging out. Are you floating away down there yet? Did you build the ark?
Oh, man. It has been raining.
Yeah.
We
haven't been getting too much rain.
There we go.
Yeah, we got a ton of it up here. When I come home, we landed in rain. I was surprised they actually let us land today.
I was actually surprised you got there 55 minutes early.
Yeah. I think we caught a magic carpet ride on the plane.
Had a little tailwind.
Yeah, it's normally a 2-hour flight, and we got in an hour and 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, that's,
From St. Louis to Fort Worth or to DFW. It's normally a 2-hour flight, and they told us we're going to get in a little bit early, and then next thing we know, we're 55 minutes early.
Yeah.
I was like, man, nice. First time I ever been early getting out of there and back into here. Normally
First time I think
everywhere.
you've ever taken a flight here recently and been on time for anything.
Yeah. Shoot, it was 6 hours late getting up there 2 weeks ago when I got up to Mike's house. Oh man.
Yep.
So what was y'all's favorite part? What did you see that you planned on seeing? And I'm asked the same question unplanned. What was your favorite part of the trip that you planned on seeing that everybody should do?
That's kind of hard because we didn't really have any set plans other than the Stanley Hotel. Like that was the only real set plans for this. And we had to keep that a complete secret because we didn't want Marie to know.
Right.
And so that was kind of difficult.
For me, going Josh, whenever we did, and Clink and Dave, whenever we did Big Thompson's Pass, that was pretty neat where we got to go through the pass of the Rockies. I knew we'd be going. If you guys haven't ever been, go see it. It's a once in a lifetime thing for me. I'm still amazed today.
And this was where?
It's called Big Thompson Canyon. Yep, out of Loveless, just north of Denver. When you go to Estes Park, yeah, Loveland. When you go, you hang a westward direction out of Loveland, and it's called Big Thompson Canyon, and it follows the Big Thompson River all the way to Estes Park, and then keeps going. And it's beautiful country there.
Okay,
river on one side of you.
I've been on that then because I've been from Loveland to Estes Park and to Rocky Mountain National Park and all that right there. Okay, yeah. That is absolutely gorgeous.
There's two ways, depending on where you came from, to get it to Estes Park from the Denver area. The north way is the Big Thompson Canyon, and then the south way, I don't know what highway that was, but it goes up through another canyon. It's about a 7-minute difference in time to get through that whole area. But it was beautiful up there. I want to go ride my motorcycle up there pretty bad.
That would be a sweet ride.
Which brings us to the 9 million Harley shops we stopped at between here and Colorado and the way back.
Yeah. Well, Mike's got a buddy that collects poker chips. And I pick up T-shirts for my brothers down here, so they always ask me for T-shirts when I go out to the Harley shops, and of course, I think I ended up with 7 T-shirts, 14 T-shirts together, but we had stopped at 7 Harley shops where I actually got T-shirts, and 2 where I got Dippin' Dots, and 1 where I got poker chips. So I think we stopped at a total of 10 Harley shops.
You got Dippin' Dots at a Harley shop?
Okay. Really? You don't know about this? And how long you been riding Harleys? You don't know about Dippin' Dots? Oh, man. Okay.
We wasn't Dippin' ice cream, Clink.
Yeah, it's not ice cream.
I'm thinking ice cream.
Well, no, old school Harley riders know about this. I learned it from one of my brothers. They're little, about the size of a nickel, maybe a quarter sometimes, metal flat stickers that'll have a bar and shield on them, and it'll have Harley Davidson of wherever and the name of the Harley Davidson dealership. Some of them are kind of like concave, like a moon kind of shape. And everybody thinks it's ice cream. They originally started out to put on your oil dipstick cover for your oil bag.
Oh, okay.
And it would kind of help you remember to change your oil and stuff. but now they phased them out and went to poker chips instead. But they're stickers. They're thin metal stickers, and they're really cool. If they're super hard to find, most places don't have them. Even in Milwaukee, they don't have them either. Covenex? What's that?
Hey, Brains.
Yes, sir.
Do you want me to send that alpaca jerky down whenever I send your clothes down?
Oh my God! You keep all that.
Don't say that too loud. All right.
So I think there's a story there.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about this jerky real quick. We are in the city of Black Hills. I believe it's South Dakota, right by the Wyoming-South Dakota border. And we were driving through this little town. We tried to get pictures of this giant Smokey the Bear that was on the corner. Had to make a couple of blocks to get actual pictures of it. Then we see a Harley Davidson.
It was actually made out of slabs of wood.
We see a Harley Davidson store. And I'm like, a Harley Davidson store, let's stop there. So finally drive around, find a parking spot. As we're getting out of the car, Mike says, I want yak jerky. I'm like, where the hell did he come up with yak jerky? And I turn around, and there's a beef jerky emporium right there. Like a store that is nothing but beef jerky, samples galore in there. You just walk around eating samples left and right. Mike sampled every flavor they had in the place. And I'm over there talking to this lady about I was talking to this lady about chubs and little meat sticks about this big, look like summer sausages.
Okay.
I when she told me she had meat chubs, I thought she was talking like a different way, and I was kind of getting excited for a minute, but
should have showed her your Dippin' Dots.
Damn you. So Mike ended up picking up some jerky. I picked up all the exotic flavor jerky sticks that they had. There was probably like 30 flavors or something. And we pick them up. We go down, do the Harley shop, and we leave. And we ended up at Devil's Tower. We went and seen that. Got soaked at that trip. And then went up to Montana. Slapped our stickers on the road signs for the state of Montana. Made it back to Gillette, Wyoming. And we stayed there for the night. Got up, went to a Harley shop, and we were driving from there to go to the Stanley Hotel in Colorado. And Mike was driving, and he was like, hey, kind of hungry. Let's eat some of that jerky. I'm like, well, what flavor do you want? He goes, I don't care. Surprise me. So I pull out my bag of jerky sticks, and first one I pull out was teriyaki gator flavored. Okay, he eats half, I eat half. And it was pretty good. Next one I pull out was an alpaca beef stick. An alpaca beef stick. Let me tell you, looked like a Slim Jim. I snap it in half, give half to Mike. I bite into this half of alpaca beef stick, get one chew into it. It was so nasty that I rolled the window down and threw it out and spit it out the window. It was horrible. Like nasty, horrible.
True story.
You should have saved that for a challenge at the next beard comp or something.
No, I wouldn't recommend anybody eating alpaca beef stick. I wouldn't even feed it to my dog. There's no way. It was horrible. Like I felt bad for any bird that ate it off the side of the road.
I guess that'll be good to know.
They must have made this jerky with the alpaca assholes.
Yeah, it was bad.
Wow.
It was bad enough that a few hours down the road when we made it into Colorado, before we got to Loveland to make our turn to go up into the mountains, I had to have Mike stop at the first exit we could find, and it just so happened to have a Harley dealership at it, so I could use the bathroom.
Imagine that.
It was horrible. And I'm not a public bathroom user by any means.
Now, when he says he had to use the bathroom, I think that bathroom is going to be under construction for the next year.
It was bad.
We should all try emu.
Yeah.
No,
Emu.
see, I've had
Hey, Brains.
emu's good. Yes.
You know who Clink? Do you know who Clink reminds me of right now?
Who's that?
Brains. Do you know who Clink reminds me of right now?
Who does he remind you of right now?
Picture this. A small abandoned road in the middle of Nebraska. I believe her name was Harriet McFeely.
Oh, he kind of has the Sasquatch look
Brains,
going.
you want to take this story?
Oh, he roped us into a story. You guys are going to love this.
He does.
What was in that alpaca jerky?
Exactly.
Alpaca was
100% in Nebraska that looks
Lips
like
and
me.
assholes.
No, this okay.
Yeah.
So after we left
hold on
the
now.
Stanley Hotel, after we left the Stanley Hotel, we drove across Nebraska on I-80, going all the way back to Missouri to go back to Mike's house.
That's a
And we were
route.
And we were stopping along the way. It took us 3 days of going through all kinds of weirdness. I didn't know there was ranches so big in my entire life. I thought Nebraska was flat, and Nebraska on that side is hilly as all get out. We saw cattle and hills, and we'd go 150 plus miles without seeing a house. Yeah. And so one of the kind of things that we had put down on a list of places we could stop at was a place called the Bigfoot Crossroads of America Museum. It's about smack dab in the middle of Nebraska, heading towards the Oklahoma border from I-80. We had stopped at one place, and we've seen a couple of things, and but on the second day of our trip through Nebraska, we had woke up, and I forget where we seen the Arch Museum that goes over I-80. Then we were going to this Bigfoot of Crossroads of America Museum, thinking it's a museum, should be kind of cool. Marie wants to go to it, so we're like,
Bigfoot,
all right, we'll go
Crossroads
to
of
it.
America.
Yep. So we stop, have lunch. We go down the road to supposedly see this museum, and all you see is cornfields all around. We're now in the flat part of Nebraska. Nothing but cornfields as far as you can see. And I'm like, well, we should be getting close. Oh, all of a sudden there's like a big area of trees, about a quarter of an acre big. And I look over, I say, oh, look, a Bigfoot. And then, oh, another Bigfoot. And then cornfields again. I'm like, uh-oh. I look at the GPS. That where the Bigfoot was the museum. I'm like, oh. Mike said to keep going. Marie's like, no, we got to go see it. And, she hates when we tell the story. We turn around, we pull in. I find the driveway to this place. And as you pull into the driveway, you notice it's like a woods. You can't see daylight very well through it. Just trees everywhere, and it's somebody's house. It is a house, like literally.
What did Mike say? What did Mike say?
Mike said, "No, let's go. It's somebody's house." I'm sitting here thinking to myself, "This is how horror movies start. We're all gonna die." And Marie's like,
Junior,
"It's not
we
that
found
bad."
some more Bigfoot here.
So we get out, we park, be nice to Marie. We're going to go see this Bigfoot. We get out, we walk up to like a porch area, and it's got this 10-foot tall skeleton that has the spray foam insulation, like got out of the can stuff, sprayed on it, and then patchwork together fur all over it. And it's only like halfway done. I'm guessing there's going to be a Bigfoot at some point. And it looks horrible. And then all of a sudden, this little old lady that couldn't have been much more than 4 foot tall, redheaded, and 150 years old, jumps out of the back garden from behind this house and asks us if we're there to help weed her garden. And
which we should have weeded.
We should have weeded the garden. definitely should have weeded the garden, if that tells you anything about this. Oh, no. We're like, no, we're going to go. We want to see the museum. She's like, oh, okay. So she comes over and starts talking to us. We haven't even made it in the door of the house yet. And she's telling us stories and asking us where we're from and this and that. Then it turns into we go inside, and it's $5 a person to go through the museum. And we're in the little area. Mike's like, oh, I only got $100 bill. And the lady's like, well, I haven't seen nothing bigger than a 20. And I'm like, oh, geez, here we go. Here's the money, lady. Let us go. Don't kill us. That's all I'm thinking in my head is House of 1,000 Corpses. We're going to die. And so after I give her the money, we go. She brings us into, I'd call it the living room. It had wicker furniture for like a couch.
Outdoor patio wicker furniture.
And she's telling us to sit down. And I'm like, no, I'm not sitting nowhere. No. She's got a Bigfoot statue in front of the window that looked like somebody made it in first grade. And it was horrible. And then she pulls a stick out, and I thought she was going to start beating Mike with this stick. Because she was just pulling out this stick, and she's using it as a pointer at a map on the wall. Yes, Clink.
I've yet to hear anything that would make Caveman look at me and remember this story.
Well, you kind of
just hold on. It gets better.
You kind of look like some of the unfinished Bigfoots that we have seen around this place now.
Oh, shit.
If you would finish off your mustache. I'm number one.
Marie says it wasn't that bad.
That's her answer to this whole story. So, okay, finally,
but
the lady's telling us.
There's more.
The lady keeps telling us about how Bigfoot follows the rivers, and she's got this map with all these pins on it, and they like salt, and she pulls out, it looks like baby bamboo, but she's like, it's not bamboo, it's full of salt, and they love this salt. And then cattails from the swampy areas, it's full of salt, and Bigfoot loves salt. And we're like, yeah, whatever, lady. You just let us go. And there's little yellow taped arrows on the floor to the carpet that point you in the direction of where to go next. Yes.
Of her carpet.
So you go in, you can leave the little living room area, you go down this hallway, and it's got a room off to one side. And it's full of stuff. And this little old lady's following us and like eyeballing us, make sure we don't steal anything, which I wouldn't want to take nothing if I had a chance to.
Brains.
Yes, I agree. And I got a picture of my handprint up against the mold, the casting of Bigfoot's handprint. His hand ain't bigger than mine. Very disappointed in this. The little castings that they did of Bigfoot feet, man, he's got small feet if that's Bigfoot. And it looks like a kindergartner did it. For a dude that's supposed to be like 7 foot tall, that dude's got small feet. Then, so we go in these rooms. Mike's like in the room, right out of the room. He's gone. He's like gone, looking at stuff, taking pictures and running. Marie's sitting there looking at every little detail, reading every little thing. And like when you go to a normal museum, below a picture, it'll have a plaque that describes what is in that picture. This, instead of being a plaque, it's a sticky note that has this little old lady's handwriting on it of what could be in that picture. Or it's a piece of ripped notebook paper taped to the wall underneath that picture. And I'm like, oh my God, this is
Caveman, please tell me that you put barefoot stickers all over that museum.
No.
Please.
You did not have a chance.
This lady, she didn't take her eyes off.
This lady was all over us like flies on shit.
Yes. So you go in the first room, then you come back into the hallway. You go down to the end of the hallway. There's another big old Bigfoot handmade statue. And then you go in the last room.
That was so patched together.
Yeah, there's no rhyme or reason to anything in this place. It's Bigfoot-ish, kind of, and it's about her and all these people you see on TV. They go squatching. And this lady's all about telling a story. Squatching? Yeah, that was her question too. How long you guys been squatching? Mike thought she meant that he was losing something out of his diaper. It was funny. So we get done in there, and we go back into the hallway, and you notice there's a door like that. It's locked. You can't go in. But you look above it, and it's lattice work, and it's the lady's bedroom on the other side of this door. And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, this ain't good. This is totally like, where the heck is Captain Spaulding going to jump out and start, getting us? You walk back to the entranceway, then there's another. Then there's a whole nother room that talks about this lady's life story and about how Bigfoot supposedly braids the manes of horses all over the world. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then you walk into the gift shop.
Microscopic braids.
Yeah. The gift shop, which is a hallway all of 4 foot long. 4 foot long. And it's got stickers. And of course, I like stickers, so I had to get some stickers. And then we had to torture Mike a little bit longer and get Marie a t-shirt. Yep, got to do the t-shirt. And it's got these little Bigfoot shaped clay molds. Look like somebody used a cookie cutter and then gave a 2-year-old red paint and a toothbrush to paint it in there. And they're put in Ziploc baggies with a wire through it to hang on the wall.
But hold on now. Bigfoot was painted red just where it was raised up off of the flat surface. So massively painted, like Brain said, a kindergartner with a toothbrush.
So we get all that. We went through there. We get the stickers. We get the T-shirt. We're trying to get out of the place. We're back into the front area, and we're standing at the door. And then she's like, hey, let me tell you a story. And she starts telling us a story. Me and Mike are looking at each other, trying to figure out excuses to get out the door. And she's telling this story about Memorial Day and a lady that came through there a couple years ago. And she went back to about the Bigfoot braiding the manes of the horses and this and that. And then she's telling us about some small podunk town in Nebraska that put a flag up at the cemetery for Memorial Day. And then 2 days go by, and on the Sunday before Memorial Day, they went to the cemetery, and the flag was shredded and braided. And with microscopic, you got to use a magnifying glass to look at these braids. And we're like, oh, wow, really? And she's like, yeah, I wrote this book all about this.
Just imagine and she had Bigfoot's big hand.
Braiding these small braids, right? That's the picture you're getting in your head. And she's like, you want to see the flag? And we're like, no. But Marie's like, yeah. She's like, okay, it's out in the shed. I got to go get the key because I keep it locked up. And okay, first thing popped in my head is, oh, that's where they kill everybody and hang the bodies in the shed.
Don't go to the shed.
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere, Nebraska.
We're making Marie happy, so me and Mike let Marie follow little Miss Harriet McFeely is her name. Harriet McFeely. She grabs this keychain that looks like a janitor's keychain. It's got like 500 keys on it. Goes out to the shed. She knew exactly which key it was.
That's not the one.
She opens it up, gets in there, and opens up the shed. And sure as shit, the shed is full of more Bigfoot stuff. And it has this giant flag that was braided. Like, I can't braid to save my life, but I could have braided it better than this flag was braided. And there is there was no microscopic braids, because if Bigfoot's got my size hand, there ain't no way he could have to use a magnifying glass to see these braids things. We were like, okay. So we run through this thing.
She let me borrow the magnifying glass.
We're trying to look. We're trying to run through this thing to get out of there. We make it back to the door. Me and Mike are like trying to get out the door, and she's like, "Let me tell you another story." And she's telling us a story about how she
don't want to hear it.
Yeah, we didn't want to hear it. Marie's just egging this lady on, asking for more stories and stuff. This lady's like, so I put that book out and sold it to all these people and blah, blah, blah. And they started sending me their flags that are braided. I got 14 more flags in my office. You guys want to see them? We're like, no, we don't see no more flags. No more flags. So me and Mike
happened to go blind.
Me and Mike hightail it out of the shed, get in the car. I'm punching in the GPS to go. I'm driving. Mike's in the back seat. I fling open the door so Marie can get in. No Marie. Can't find Marie. She's still back there talking to Miss McFeely. And I'm like, oh, man, I'm sorry, Mike. It was your anniversary, but I think we just sacrificed Marie to the greater good of getting us the hell out of here. Well, I'm backing up now. I'm driving towards the shed to get out. Marie comes out. She finally gets in the car, and she's like, "It's not that bad." And me and Mike are dying trying to get out of there. I did the biggest, smokiest burnout down that street to get away from that place this little front-wheel drive car could do, and just down the way I went, driving us. Oh my God. It was good for the jokes. The story. What's the moral?
Moral of the story, Clink, you look more like Bigfoot than the Bigfoot Museum.
Yes.
All right, I'll go with that. And I think that answers the other question I was going to ask. What was the most unexpected adventure? I think that you just nailed it right there. So tell me honestly, which one of you are already Facebook friends with Miss McNeely?
Oh, that's her. Him right there.
Mike's brains.
Nope.
Right there. Hell, it could be Marie for all we know.
She could probably smell that alpaca jerky on y'all's breath and thought, they're squatchers. Yeah.
I thought she was going to use Mike as a hair sample.
You know the commercial.
Wow.
And that's just off my ass.
Yeah.
Jeff Ray and Fabs, y'all tuned in about 10 minutes too late. You got to go back and watch that.
You gotta rewind it and hear that story. That was great.
There's a place.
We will take 10 minutes of your life.
Yeah, to tell you that story. There's a place in Nebraska. If you're ever in that chance, go see Carhenge. It's like 150 miles out of the way from anywhere.
That's like Stonehenge, right? But that's the back end of cars sticking out.
Yeah, it's like cars sticking out all over the place, and there's a car you can go spray paint your name on. And
I thought that was in West Texas.
That's that's Cadillac.
No, that's Cadillac Ranch.
Okay.
That's just Cadillac sticking up in a line. This is like I think it's like a 1/3 scale of Stonehenge made out of all kinds of different vehicles, painted gray. Yeah, they're really cool.
Anything from Jeep trucks to Cadillacs to I believe there was a 58 Plymouth Fury up there as well.
Yeah.
So he's got quite a collection.
Wow.
Really cool. But that's just 150 miles on a back country road in the middle of nowhere in Nebraska.
Yeah.
And we had to take a detour. Nowhere. Yeah, it was out there. Then
the detour took us on like a 50-mile circle.
Yeah. Construction in the middle of a cornfield. Who does that?
I think Miss McFeely had the detour up. She needed more fur for her 10-foot-tall Bigfoot on her porch.
And she thought y'all were coming back to her.
Right.
It felt like we was going to.
It's the smell of the alpaca.
That's right.
Let's see. Oh, when we were on our way to Colorado, we drove through South Dakota all the way across, and we stopped. We seen
Wall drugs.
Mount Rush. Yeah, we did Wall Drugs, Mount Rushmore, Devil's Tower, Crazy Horse.
Crazy Horse.
Yeah, Crazy Horse was kind of a disappointment a little bit. I wish we could have got closer to it, but you got to pay extra to do that. We didn't do that, but
and they're still not even half done with it.
Yeah, they just got the face done, and the face and the top of the arm of that one is about done. Then we seen, we went through.
It probably wouldn't have been so bad, but you had to pay extra to get on these school buses that looked like they wouldn't pass an inspection in the middle of a junkyard. And they wanted to pack you all in there and take you up to about a half a mile away from it. So you were only about a quarter. We were 3/4 of a mile away from seeing it, but they were only going to take you an additional quarter mile to see it. And it just wasn't happening.
Well, that don't make sense.
Yeah, it wasn't. You already have to pay $30 to get into the place to go see it. And
but
go through
they
all
probably
stuff.
figure it's the same kind of people that stop at somebody's house for a big museum and pay to get in there. So hey, we got some suckers.
Yeah, probably. There's definitely more people at the Crazy Horse than there was at McFeely's Bigfoot.
But Brain, go back and finish that story about you getting your stickers there at McFeely's place. How they were all card cataloged in.
Oh,
that took us an hour to get 5 stickers.
Yeah, they were on a wall, and then they had little numbers and letters next to them. And I'd tell her the number and letter of the one I wanted, and it flipped through this little card catalog thing that wasn't in order by her standards, I guess. And I'm looking over her shoulder going, oh, it's right there. Hey, it's right there. Grab that one. That's the one.
That one.
And
that one.
It took us forever to get stickers.
Now, when we got to Devil's Tower, it's a mile, 1.6 miles to walk around it. And we got about 3/4 of the way around it. We're all wearing T-shirts, and I'm in a pair of shorts. My wife is wearing flip-flops, and 3/4 of a mile around it, it cuts loose raining. Not just a light rain, but a downpour, and then the sleet comes in, and the temperature fell off. We're like frozen popsicles on the side of a mountain. Yeah, good times.
It was crazy. we went through Sturgis and Deadwood and seen all that while we were up there. Let's see. We made it to Montana. There's a Man Beard Co. sticker on the Montana state sign. And a barefoot sticker, and a Wicked Whiskers sticker. Colorado's sign has a Man Beard sticker, and so does Nebraska's. And I believe South Dakota does too also.
It does, and also the Geographical Center of the United States has those stickers as well.
Yeah. We ended up – did you know? You go to Lebanon, Kansas – and that just outside of town is the Geographical Center of the 48 continual United States. And all it is a little pyramid made out of stones and a little chapel that holds like 6 people and a flag and a little park.
I think I've seen.
Yeah, don't forget that spring animal we were riding.
Mike was riding. I didn't ride no spring animal thing.
Mike
bullshit. Likes to ride animals.
We've seen pictures of different animals that you all were mounted upon.
I was trying to tame that bear.
Yeah,
and that damn thing bit me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You was trying to tame the wrong hole, Brains.
My bad. He said punch the bear. I didn't realize it meant, punch him in the face. My bad. Is that why he bit me?
Probably.
I think so.
Damn bears. What them asses. Yeah, we did
throughout the whole
fun.
adventure, whoever was in the driver's seat was an asshole. Just throwing it out there.
It was the bitchy seat for sure.
Why?
Yeah.
It just seemed to be
We learned how to make a lot of sandwiches.
It just seemed to be whoever was driving just got irritated and decided they didn't want to be happy anymore, I guess. I don't know. And then you give them a sandwich and they're good to go. Mike's a good sandwich maker. Anybody out there wants to know, tell Mike to make you a sandwich. And he's a pretty good one.
Damn right.
He puts the meats.
Hey, I'm a fat boy. I got to learn how to eat.
Meats and cheeses and
I'm like Arby's, baby. I got the meats.
Oh man. Yeah, it was good times. We had a lot of fun driving and seeing stuff, and oh man, I'm trying to think of anything else that was in Nebraska.
We definitely come to the conclusion. We definitely come to the conclusion. The next road trip, wherever we decide to go, we're flying. Fuck the driving.
Yeah. We're flying to one central location and then going to drive the rest of the way. Stay in one little area to drive in.
I'll say because that's a road trip. You know, you can't fly on a road trip. So okay, now it makes more sense.
Yeah, well, you can fly like say from here to Vegas and then drive around the Vegas area and do your road trip that way. That whole 8 states, 6 days, and 3,055 miles was a lot.
But if you did that, it's not the same. You're not going to find the big museum. You're not going to find alpaca jerky. You're not going to find the geographical center of the continental U.S.
Well, that's all stuff that I Google searched, like stuff to do along Highway 80 in Nebraska. Oh, there you are, Mike. You're back.
Yeah, he's back.
And I Google searched and just made a big long list. And we took that list, and every day when we woke up in the morning at a hotel, wherever we stopped at for that night, we wake up the next morning and be like, okay, these are all in the way towards the house. What do we want to stop at? And that's what we stopped at. And don't let Marie pick because she picks the Bigfoot Museum. That's all I'm saying.
She lost her picking abilities.
That's right.
Yes.
After that, after the Bigfoot Museum, we took her phone away. She was no longer allowed to look on Google.
Yep. She wasn't even allowed to pick food places. It was done. It was weird. Me and Mike were the decision makers of the rest of that trip.
So what was some good food stuff y'all had? Different.
Probably Dakota Steakhouse. Rapid City.
That was pretty good. I had the elk ravioli up there. I mean, that was good.
Yeah, and the steak I had, probably one of the best steaks ever made.
Yeah. Let's see. In Estes Park there in Colorado, we stopped at a little burger joint, and I ate a buffalo burger that was fucking amazing. Like super thick patty, cheese on it, all the fixings, and it was delicious.
That's when we went in to warm up.
Yeah. Yeah. When you're in Colorado, always take a jacket with you. Let me tell you. We walked out of that place. We were walking down the main street of Estes Park, and it was sun shining. Everything was great. We saw clouds start coming over the mountains, come out of a shop, and next thing the mountains were completely gone. No sun, a little bit of mist in the air, and it was freezing cold. And we were about a mile and a half away from the car where our jackets were.
It was about 38 degrees, and we're a mile and a half away from a long sleeve shirt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's
we
why all those little T-shirt shops up there make a killing, selling hoodies and stuff.
Anybody out there in the world looking at this video, go to Estes Park. Every single shop on that place is hiring right now. Guaranteed you can have a job. It was sad.
Help wanted.
Every single door every single shop, from Subways to the gas stations to the T-shirt, souvenirs, candy stores, all of them had help wanted signs.
It's not just their Brains; it's
restaurants.
Here too. Oh, it's everywhere. But it was like to see that there in such a small place with so many people around. It was like, wow.
Estes Park is that's where they have that big bronze statue of that bull elk, Samson, I think they called him.
Yep.
Okay. That's a beautiful place.
Yes.
The elk were so close to us, like in the car we were driving down the road that they're less than 5 foot away from you and they don't even care. They're just sitting there eating away. They look at you. We're taking pictures. They were stopping traffic in the middle of the road. Like the elk were crossing the street at the crosswalks and stuff, not going with the lights at all.
Yeah, that's a really pretty place.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful country up there.
Yeah, the wildlife definitely run the town. So
lots of fun.
I mean, that was our crazy adventure. That was our crazy adventure for 8 days or 7 days, whatever it was. All over the place, tagging street signs, having a good time.
Yeah. So. I got probably close to 2,000 pictures on my phone and 1,500 pictures on my camera that I took, and I'll be posting some pictures here after a while. I finally can get them all into one thing. I'll get them all posted so everybody can see our wild and crazy adventure.
I'm gonna look up. Miss Huckabee.
We got some good product shots too up in the mountains.
Google Clink. All you got to do is Google search the Bigfoot Crossroads of America Museum. That's all you got to look up. And
I'm going to go in and change my Facebook name to Barefoot Brains, and then I'm going to like the page and send her some private messages.
I mean, she probably would like it.
Hey, this poor lady was so lonely. She had plywood cutouts painted of herself throughout the property.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys seen a thing on my page that said this museum is dedicated to Dick, that was at that museum.
Okay, so not to take up for or nothing, but we don't know her situation. Just imagine a complete stranger going into Brain's house and seeing flags everywhere of him in a banana Speedo, riding a chicken, Captain America Speedo.
I would have to charge more. I would have to definitely charge more than $5 a person to get in to see all
that. Come on, we got to get out of here. We got.
Speaking of those flags, I think you're the winner of one of them.
Is that our lady?
That is the lady. That is Miss McFeely.
There we go.
Where did she be?
No, she don't look like that right now. She looks done a little wore out compared to that picture.
Yes, I did. I won the flag.
She may have shacked up with Bigfoot a little too long.
Wow.
Oh man. Yeah, the good times, road tripping. I will do that anytime. Mike and Maria are some of the best people to go on road trips with.
So
had a blast.
Have one question.
What you got?
What the hell is that?
That's twins. There's 2 of those. That's Bigfoot. That was one of her Bigfoots.
Jesus.
Wow.
That thing was ugly.
Looked like Mike, didn't it? It was
I
could
have
have been
a
twins.
selfie of that one.
Wow.
That is that museum. Yes, all of that.
Oh yeah.
That is yes. It is an experience.
I'll tell you what,
something.
If you guys want to go, I'll PayPal you the $5 to get in.
Yeah. Yeah. What's Mama saying over there, Caveman?
It's not that bad.
See,
I'm seeing some of the pictures.
Yeah, you seeing some of the pictures? That stuff, holy moly!
You need to comment on all those pictures.
You guys do realize that without Marie's glasses on, she can't see.
I don't think she was wearing her glasses on that whole part of the trip.
Was that the flag?
That is the flag with the micro braids
that's
on
the flag.
I can see them little braids. Yeah, that's that's all a little bitty braid.
Shit, Clay.
Yeah, she's not crazy at all.
Oh shit.
She might mistake you as the Yeti with your gray beard there, Clink, when you go in there. So you might watch out. You'd be stuffed over there as the Bigfoot's cousin from the north.
Throw me in one of them rooms and put me up as a display.
That ain't no shit.
Oh,
I'm telling you, Clink, if you were on display, you'd be the best looking one there.
Wow.
Oh, I got one more. This is going to be great.
So, Clink, why don't you tell us about that tornado you had come through there?
Oh, man. It was last Wednesday.
Got tore up.
But not much. We were lots of heavy winds, heavy rain, and we growing up in Texas, and especially when we grew up or lived in Northeast Texas and grew up there, tornadoes are pretty prevalent up there. And they're not so much down here. In fact, they're not supposed to happen this far south. But anyway, standing on the front porch, and anybody, I think everybody on here knows what a wall cloud is. And it was just a perfectly distinct wall cloud, just dark line, clear underneath it and behind it. And just standing on the front porch watching. And it's actually pretty calm, and that's usually not good. And looking back to the southwest a little bit, you could see the spirals starting a little bit, and then 3 or 4 of them, and then they turned into one big one and come down and hit the ground. And guess probably a couple miles away, and it wasn't 10 seconds, and you couldn't see nothing. It was just instant rain going every which direction, and got in the house, and we already had the closet cleaned out under the stairs, and was still just standing there looking out the window, and I was fine as long as all the tree limbs were going one direction. But when they started doing this, I was like, all right, let's get in the closet.
Yep.
And we got in the closet, and you could hear it. It was on us. A couple minutes, maybe actually probably more like 45 seconds or so, but it seemed like a couple minutes. And went back out, and we were right either on the edge, or it was a very, very minor one. The only actual damage to the house is we lost a porch light. We got those old-fashioned looking barn lights that just hang from a cord on our porch, and one of those got blown down and bent up, and we had a wooden box on the carport that it was blown out into the yard this direction, and there was a push broom on the back porch that went that direction, and stuff like that, just a little trash. There's I'm gonna say half a mile from the house, because our driveway is a quarter mile long, half a mile from the actual house, the neighbors had one of those all those, I call them ready-made carports. You see them all the time on the side of the road, 12 by 20 carport for $800. Theirs was just picked up and flipped over.
Right.
Stuff like that. Nothing, no major damage. A kind of a spooky moment, with us, me, the wife, and dogs and kids in the closet, just sitting, sit there and pray. It's all you can do. And came out, and it's still, and that's when I made the video, was afterwards, and it was still pretty western out there, and that's when I noticed that my chicken fell over.
I was going to ask you about that.
Got him the next day.
Best blow job that chicken ever got. Him and them big old saggy things hanging down there went a flying.
He sucked his nuts up a little bit, but we got him hanging again. Yeah. So stayed home from work that day because we didn't have power. Of course, we lost power that night and didn't have power any that night or the next day. And I had some cattle panels blow over and went and set them back up. And of course, go checking all the fences, make sure I wasn't plus or minus any cows.
Get some of the neighbors over with you. Yeah. Some of the neighbor cows.
I actually had to go pull the neighbor out. He got his tractor stuck, so I had to take my tractor over and pull him out and just stuff like that. But it didn't do any. No, the wife is laughing. Good golly. But no damage to the house. It was just a kind of a little spooky moment. But we've been getting some rain. That night we got 5 inches in 3 hours. Wow. We'd gotten 1 inch and 3/10 the day before. We've gotten we've probably gotten 3 or 4 inches since then. It's been raining pretty well. We were dry. We were real dry. We definitely needed it, but I think we have stockpiled for a while. Yeah. It's flooding in some places down here.
My backyard looks like a lake.
Just west of you, we haven't gotten that much rain.
Really?
I mean, we've here and there, but it hadn't been.
And see, there's places 30 miles north or south of me that's gotten almost double the rain. Yeah. We've really started getting in the last week. The week before, we had gotten I think we'd gotten like 1.5 inches or something like that a couple of weeks ago, and there was just 20 miles north. They were getting 7 and 10 inches. Jeff Ray, he was always jacking with me because I'd send him a picture of our radar, and the rain would split and go right around that blue dot where we were at every freaking time. It wouldn't never freaking rain, but so I got a story too in all this. My pond. So this part of Texas, they call them tanks. Other parts of the country, West Texas, they call them tanks. And what I'm calling a tank is a earthened dam water holding facility, a pool, a pond, a lake, or whatever you want to call it. But down here, they call them tanks. But anyway, so my tank, I've got a couple of 12-inch poly pipes just underground. That's my overflow. And then it has an emergency overflow. But none of that mattered that night because it was flowing across all the way across. It was flowing. And I just knew I was going to lose my tank dam because once it gets to the path cut, it'll go. Anyway, my two 12-inch pipes floated out of the ground. And I think a log or something came over and literally just caught them and pushed them up is what I think happened because I didn't lose any ground. Anyway, so I rented a little mini excavator, and y'all may have seen my tip of the day video. That's where I'm going with it.
Yeah.
Because that's a true story. I had mud boots on, and how I got my water in my mud boots was, so I rented this little mini excavator, and I get these pipes out of the ground, and I'm cleaning out this trench, okay? And I'm making it a little bit deeper, to where I can get them down a little bit more underground and more secure and all that stuff. So getting all that done, and I know that whenever I make that last scoop on the water side, I'm fixing to have some water rolling through there because water's steadily running the whole time. Anyway, get it done. I get that first culvert or drainage pipe, what are you going to call it, rolled off in the hole. They float downstream because water's flowing, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So that thing, I rolled it off in that water and boom, there it goes. And I jump on top of it and I'm balancing myself on top of this damn 12-inch plastic pipe out there by myself.
I'd have paid to see that.
I'm thinking, now what? And it wasn't nothing I could do. I just got up and let it float down and went down there and tried to push it back up. No, because it's got water flowing through it. So I go back up to the inlet side and I raise it up to where the water quits flowing. And you can see that thing just rise up as the water comes out of it. So, all right. Get it pulled back up there in place. I get me some T-posts and put in the ground on the other end where they'll go up against the T-post and hold in place till I can get some dirt on them and just all, it it moves out of the way, T-post, it takes off again. It's just an ordeal. And that's in all of this. I went over the tops of my mud boots several times. So I'm sloshing around. Finally, I get the dadgum thing secured. Now I can't stand it. So I just hiked my leg up, to let the water run out the mud boot. Well, I was a little ambitious on my leg kick. And no bullshit. That water run down, it was coming out, and I thought, man, that was a bunch of water in there. And all of a sudden, whoo, it's cold. And right across the hind end, overflowed in the other boot. I mean, it was just. So I thought, there's some folks that'll get entertainment out of this, and that may be a new thing now. Clink's tip of the day.
I think you need to do that.
Yeah, I think that needs to happen.
My next one may be don't eat alpaca jerky and go to a Bigfoot museum.
True statements. True statements right there.
With a sign like this, how can you not go to it?
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, wow. Wow.
That's Miss McFeely.
But the shed doesn't look like that now. The shed's painted bright yellow, got a nice sign on the front of it, and
I can't believe y'all actually stopped. My wife would have not let me stop. Who's the cowboy dude in the back?
One of her squatching friends. Who knows? They're just random people.
Don't forget, she had sponsors plaques on an old broken garage door that she was using for fence panels.
So we can sponsor this if we so choose.
If you donate enough money to the Squatching Museum.
Oh, I'm with you.
Dave, when was the last time you were squatching?
Never.
So is Manbeard Co. now a sponsor at the Bigfoot Museum?
That's something we may consider.
Well, hey, when she asked us when was the last time we were squatching, I actually reached back. I thought maybe I'd pooty-pooed a little bit in the car, and it was sticking out. But
hey, if Manbeard Co. Sponsors this place, we can give a cutout to all of us, and she can paint them and put them around her property too. That might be kind of fun.
Look, it's a Yeti from Texas.
No, I don't want to even.
Yeah, you would be the first one.
Hey, but just think, at the end of your sign, Clink, at the end of your sign, Clink, it could say Clink's tip of the day.
Go somewhere else. Yeah, no.
Have a little. We could either have a little push button that the kids come up and push and get to hear you, or it could be motion activated.
Oh, jeez.
No, I think she's good on the paraphernalia, according to the pictures that Dave has shown already.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a place all in itself. That's a trip that everybody should at least encounter once.
But that would be so fun to take, since y'all have already been there. That would be so fun for you all to go back with somebody.
Oh yeah.
That doesn't know anything about it,
and go hide behind a door or something. Yeah.
Yeah, we may have to put a van and all caravan up there.
Yeah, let's go.
So, how far is it from Omar's comp?
That one would probably be, I would say, about 3-4 hours north. Straight.
Okay, you said it was in Nebraska, not Kansas, right?
Yeah. It's about an hour and a half, 2 hours north of Lebanon, Kansas, where we were at the center of the United States.
Which was the center. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And then I think Lebanon, Kansas is about an hour or two north of Wichita. So give or take a couple hours. It'd probably be about 4 or 5 hours to get there.
Yeah.
Might be fun, though. You never know. Get a whole group of us bearded folks to go tours. Let's have a beard competition at the Bigfoot Museum.
I mean, maybe we could pick up some of his scent, and a little mustiness for a new beard oil.
Yeah, it's already working.
Yeah. Bigfoot.
Squatch juice. Squatch juice. We don't need nothing that smells like Mike's ass. I'm just saying. No squatch in here.
Pal.
Well, I mean, Caveman,
I guess I'm the butt of your jokes tonight.
Well, I mean, in the very beginning of the show, you're the one that said you'd been in the car with Brains for 2 weeks and you had a sore ass. I mean, you can't.
you got me there, Clink.
Yeah, I mean,
got to put two and two together.
Yeah.
All this talk of nature and mountains and all that stuff, you got me ready. I'm already excited to go to the Spokane comp. We're going to go up a little early, and that's actually my birthday weekend, and the wife is letting me get a guide, and I'm going to go do a little trout fishing, and looking forward to it.
Okay.
Are y'all going to go, or?
Debating. The weekend before that one is South Dakota, Sioux Falls comp. And that's another fun one that I've gone to every year since they started doing it. And last year and the year before, Mike, and Marie have gone up with Omar and them. And we just make a weekend trip out of it. It's kind of hard, but I'm thinking we'll see what happens. Kind of play it by ear. I'd have to fly out of St. Louis over to Spokane to get there.
I think Spokane for us is during Fredericksburg weekend, so I wouldn't be able to make it.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be.
It's the last weekend of July.
Guys, I hate to cut this short, but if I don't leave now, I'm going to leave without getting to say goodbye. So my battery is done.
All righty, sir.
So,
appreciate you coming on.
Once again,
see you later, Caveman.
See you, brother.
See you guys. Love you all. Be safe.
Love you.
Later.
Now the Spokane comp is the 31st of July.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it's first Monday.
Yeah, that'd be your Canton.
That is true.
Market.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although it's in July, and I wouldn't mind passing it up because
you go somewhere a little cooler.
Yeah.
When go trout fishing, go sling that fly rod.
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
Yep.
Well, it sounds like y'all had a great time. That I can't wait to see the pictures as you start posting them and stuff. That's
we're already planning.
You can go on trips like that with family, And
definitely.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, we're already planning like an out East Coast trip next time, up Northeast area. Go see some stuff out that way, and we just kind of pick an area, go to it, and have no set plans. Just how many days until we got to be back so they can go to work. And
it's a totally you talking about going to East Coast. It's same country, but it's going to be a totally different set of experiences for you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, you get on the East Coast and you start running into history of our country.
Yeah,
and it's cool. It's totally different.
I'm looking forward to the Nationals. I'm going to take a little bit extra time, I think.
Yeah.
Hang out.
Go see some stuff.
Do y'all decide if you're flying or driving to Nationals?
I'm probably going to be flying.
I am not 100% sure yet. I might be flying up to St. Louis and driving with Mike and Maria across, or we might be flying all the way there. Who knows? I may take a train. It's 56 hours to get to Scranton, Pennsylvania from Fort Worth, Texas on the train. And it's a total of 3 transfers on trains and 1 3-hour bus ride. And it's, I think, $300 if you take a coach seat the whole way.
Yeah, I was thinking about flying into New York and then taking a train over to Scranton.
Yeah. There's no actual train into Scranton. You get to, I think, Philadelphia, and then you got to take a
you get on a bus. And, it takes you.
I don't know. Haven't decided 100% yet. I'm still so far away. It's going to be a fun one. I can't wait. Yes, I love that whole area out that way. So lots of fun.
Yes, sir. Gentlemen, go ahead and call it. We've been at it for a little over an hour. So.
Dang. Time flies.
Yeah, it does. I appreciate you guys coming on. And
yeah.
Don't need no stinking Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny who? Johnny who? What?
I mean, we are looking for a third alternate co-host for the weeks that we can't do it. So
me and Clint can do this stuff
anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime, just holler. And no, I can just go in the other room if it's whenever the wife is doing her thing, because I'm in her office right now. But
no, we're gonna do it. I actually like this time slot, the 8:30 time slot, so it'd be right after hers.
Oh yeah. That's right.
I kind of like that time slot, so we may stick with that. Start doing it Mondays at 8:30.
Yep. Yeah.
So,
me or Brains, either one or both, anytime.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Thank y'all again. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Seeing you guys again soon.
Yes, sir.
Night, everybody. Love you.
Love y'all. See you.